Hello, ActoSage here on the Sage channel, and a lovely little update came out today that added a few interesting things, but one thing that Aaron, my friend, has been asking for a long time, and I have agreed that should be added: cameras. They've gone ahead and added cameras to the game, and you see them here. They're pretty simple and straightforward. They are a circular little thing with a camera edge around them, and you see that the camera word is above it. Now this is, you might say, okay Sage, this is sort of basic. Well, the point is, depending on its orientation depends the view you get through the camera. So you can see it says camera at the top, whereas this one says camera at the right, or it's right. So if I was to look through the one on the left, and I have actually gone ahead and set them up here, you can see you can drag them down here and then set them to view. So I've set this one on the left, there you go, view that one. I press T to get back out of that, press T on that one, and you can see the camera angle is rotated. So be careful when you're placing these down, you gotta make sure they're rotated correctly. Also, the little red light on that indicates that they're actually turned on. If I was to go into here and select the cameras and shut them off, the little red light shows off, they're no longer useful. That light up there, might I add, is also, I say light, that camera up there is a secondary ship. I have an antenna set to it, and I can go ahead and set the rotor to be spinning a little bit there. That might be a bit much, but then we can of course select the view, and you can look through cameras even if they're on other ships, as long as you have an antenna on your ship and an antenna on the other ship. Just like any other block, you can actually access them through the separate system, which is pretty dang cool. And the devs have actually said that in the future, they want you to actually be able to directly control whichever ship you access via the camera system. So basically you could live inside your own little station and just have all these automated machines to do all your work in the future. Hopefully they'll actually have a custom block that allows you to place things, and that way you can actually build with a small ship as well, because currently you'd have to actually still fly out there to place the basic starting point of a block. Anyway, you cannot actually rotate your camera or move it at all when you're in one of these views. Actually, I can't even use that because I've shut off the cameras. Let's go ahead and turn those back on. To demonstrate though, you cannot actually rotate your camera. Moving the mouse right now, nothing. I hold Alt, nothing of that sort. F7 still focuses on my character, and I still go into spectator mode. F6 brings me all the way back to my character getting out of that. So you cannot actually control the cameras to look around at all, but they said in the future you'll have some freedom. That way you just like rotating your head when you're in a cockpit. So look forward to that in the future, as well as being able to actually control those ships. And by the way, I love how that looks. A little security camera just sitting there. You can see that the cylindrical bit around the actual camera itself sticks back a bit farther than you'd expect, but it's pretty cool. Anyway, moving over here, the other thing they've updated today is this little thing that's actually called a blast furnace in the game, which some people have said that doesn't make much sense. You need air for a blast furnace, maybe an arc reactor, or not arc reactor, but an arc furnace. And I believe they actually referred to it as an arc furnace in the actual official update video, so expect this thing's name to be changed soon. But if we go ahead and look at it, you can see here, hey, place any item in here and it'll smelt it up. What's the point of this? Why not use a proper refinery, right? Why not use this? Oh, not that one. Why not use the big old refinery and just stick this in here and get the job done? Well, thing is, this blast furnace is only for iron. You can only put raw iron in here, but it's 1.2 times faster. You might again say, well, that's barely any increase in speed. Well, then you can have multiples of these, and also this thing is much cheaper to build than a full one of these. So you basically have one of these to very quickly be churning out tons and tons of iron for your station. Also, it's 40% more power efficient, or I believe it maybe even uses 40% of the power that a normal refinery does. So you can also save a lot of power. If you're just refining iron mainly because you're just building up a large ship or station, it would be much more efficient just to have a blast furnace or arc furnace running. It's pretty dang cool. I actually like the idea of it, and I can imagine having bunches of these because they're so much smaller, stuck in the underdecks of your ship. Also, I believe it should be pointed out, they've done some changes to the default stuff in the world. So here we go. This is Easy Start 2. This is this world. The only thing I've added is that little platform and this little platform here. It's the only stuff I've added. And as you can see, they've actually added proper windows to stuff, this nice little walkway up here with a ramp sort of thing. It's actually pretty awesome. I like what they've done with this, and their modifications to default stuff doesn't stop here. They've actually gone through and modified all of the default starting ships. And by the way, this is a door. They've added doors like this all over the place. It's really damn cool. But they've also modified all the default, like I said starting, they're really cargo ships. All those cargo ships that would fly through your zone, they've gone ahead and modified all of those. Some of them have now big doors like that and other things. It's actually really impressive. I invite you to go ahead and we'll take a look at them. There's a fair few to get, and I didn't feel like trying to grab them all, sticking them here. And, oh, and by the way, how cool is that, huh? they have their passage block set up almost like an elevator. I wonder if this is a hint at things to come, or it's just cool. Might be an elevator in the future, I don't know. I'd hope there would be, but I like this idea of them reworking their old easy starts to equip a lot of stuff. It's actually pretty damn awesome, and I like it a lot. And I suspect they maybe didn't intend to have these windows be the wrong way around in here. Anyway, it's pretty cool. It's technically a small update, but I think it's very, very awesome, and I look forward to seeing more of it. The one last thing that I do have to show, though, would be enemy IDs. Now, I have noticed this before, so if we're in here and we're over here at the ownership thing at the right, you can pull the pull down and click on yourself or anybody else who's in your faction, yes? But now there's this little arrow here. It's actually been here since the last update. Add new enemy identity. NPC is created. Non-player character? What? AI? Well, I'd hoped, but currently, no. What this basically is intended for is if we were to select everything and select it to be that, then you can only do that in creative mode. You can only create them in creative mode. But now you can see all the turrets on the station, they basically are set as their own little mini faction. And you see they're beginning to bombard everything else out there that isn't them. So you could basically do this to make adventure maps and stuff for people more easily. I hope in the future you'll be able to actually set it up so if you have a camera on your ship, maybe an AI core, and the normal thruster setup, then you can set it to have an AI, set one of those NPCs to own it, and voila, you'll actually have a proper NPC that will buzz about and do stuff, and hopefully you'll be able to have ones on your actual faction, maybe be able to set them to follow you. But I think that's a bit farther out, but this is the sort of thing you'll notice that on some of the cargo ships that couldn't defend themselves before. Now they're going to have these AIs automatically assigned to them, and you'll find yourself getting shot out of the sky if you approach them thinking they're going to be easy loot. Anyway guys, that's it. It's a pretty cool update. Pretty nice to see them upgrading some more stuff like this, allowing for better adventure maps and things like that in combat, and I'm amazed they're still shooting at this. They've disabled its reactors. They did pretty quick work of that. Pretty awesome. Again, overall, I invite you guys to go ahead and check out the Easy Start 2 and all those cargo ships they've reworked. Fiddle with those cameras. Remember, in the future, hopefully pretty soon, you'll be able to remote control ships fully with them, so you'll be able to stay back at base pretty safe. Overall, very, very cool update. I'm very, very happy with it, even if it technically might seem a bit small. It's really showing you things to come. Anyway, that's it guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.